It's hot. Hey, baby girl. You guys see my dog? She got fixed or spayed a couple days ago. Oh, time to kill, and I honestly can't sleep anymore, and I can't watch any more movies. So, here we are. um, but I hope everyone's having a nice weekend. I am. What's going on with that here? I've been sick all week. I'm still sick. I went to the doctor today. They gave me some antibiotics. But the good news is I don't have mono or strep throat, which is the major issue. Is what they thought I might have. So not only have I went to work Wednesday because I thought I could deal, and then I came after Wednesday. I sent in. I'm not coming in Thursday or Friday. So I haven't done anything in about a week and a half. I've been sick for about 10 days. I'm hoping to be 100% by Monday. But yeah, I went in. They're like, "Are you feeling better?" I'm like, "I'm about 65%." And I worked that day, and the whole day I'm working, I'm like, "I'm dead." So, and to make it matters even worse, so you see our dog over there, Boise. Um, we got her spayed, and so she's screaming and yelling, and she's in pain, so we're giving her pain medicines. She didn't sleep for 36 hours. And, apparently, purebred dogs have issues with anesthesia more than other dogs, so she's fine now. But the first day was hell, so I need to get rest. April's doing her boot camp full time, so it's a rough time for this. But she's a little bit better now. She just requires constant supervision so that she doesn't. She got her cone off and started licking her wound, and we can't be having that. So, but yeah, I tried to go back early to work when I wasn't feeling too hot because I can power through for the most part. But I know we had deadlines I wanted to try and hit, and they're pretty aggressive. So I was like, "Oh, I'll go back. It's cool." And then Wednesday rolled around, and I was like, "Nope." after that Wednesday, I was like, "Nope." And now my arm hurts because I got a flu shot too while I was there, and all that sort of stuff. Shout out to our bros from Italy. I don't drink whiskey, man. I don't really drink anymore. I casually drink. I would say that I've gotten good and drunk. I get good and drunk about once a year. Usually some sort of event, some social gathering. Hey, Milo. Say hi. I paid $5,000 on my mortgage off today. Bonus payment. Happy about that. A little milestone. Extra 5 G's towards it. Where I was drunk and motivational, that was that might have been one of the once a year that happened. Yep. So no, I'm not drinking tonight. Yeah. What do you guys think? I don't know if one of you guys watched my latest video, the Money 101 for entry level salaries. I've been thinking about doing more money videos because that's sort of where my mind's at lately. Still sick, yeah. I'm on antibiotics for the next 10 days. I just got them today. I should have gone to the doctor sooner. You loved it? Okay. I've been thinking about doing a couple more videos. We'll see. Thinking of getting an Australian Shepherd pup in 2 weeks at 8 weeks old. How tough are they? So, I have two, obviously. And we made sure to get both of our dogs when we had one person to watch the pup. So what I will tell you is that it really varied by puppies. Boise's still not fully potty trained. She's like, I'd say she's 90% there. Boise! No, no digging. Good girl. And she's about 90% potty trained. Gator was potty trained in a week. And we got him at basically the same age. So it was a mentality thing. I don't know if that's the difference between a male dog and a female dog. I would also say that they're very high energy. So, like, unless you have kids or another dog, I would recommend getting a second dog. But I love Australian Shepherds. I had one as a kid, and they're smart, they're fun. I liked it. I liked it so much I got two. But I got the second dog, Boise, because we wanted Gator to have a friend. And we got her spayed. Oh, there she goes. Nature, everybody poops. All right. Everybody remember that everybody poops. But we got her fixed, or spayed rather. I guess fixed is considered a derogatory term towards dogs because like it implies that you're saying there's something wrong with her because she's menstruating or going in heat. But yeah, we got her spayed because we wanted him to have a sister or a friend and not a girlfriend. So he's not fixed. So, but they're smart. They're high energy. Any puppy is going to be challenging. I'd recommend that you start crate training them on day one to help with the potty training. I'd also recommend that you get a if you have a backyard, that's perfect. So, but also get like not a cage, like a pen during the day. So, do you play Pixel Gun 3D? No. What is the average day like as a developer? I would say it depends by company, but if I was to break it down, it's 50% meetings, 50% deving. And that dev time is broken up between code reviews, between you doing your code, between you assisting other developers. It sort of depends where you are in your career and sort of the hierarchy of your team. The computer vision lab. You inspired me to become a self-taught computer vision engineer. Your story inspired me so much. Good luck, man. So crate training is where at night you lock them up in a crate. So the first night or two they might howl, and what has really helped with us for that is we give them a greenie, like those toothbrush things when they go to bed, so they look forward to it. And it's supposed to be like a safe place. This also will help them build their bladder control. And so they're going to whine the first night, and what we have done to sort of ease them into it is we get them in there and they try to leave and then we slowly push them back in. It takes about 20-30 minutes. We also put on some lo-fi jazz. That seems to really calm them down. Yeah, the crate training's only at night while you sleep. Now during the day you can keep them in eye reach, but that gets exhausting relatively quickly. So you're going to want that pen. That pen, even if you just use it an hour a day, it's another great thing for you to utilize so that you don't have to have, because having your eyes 24/7 on one of your pets is exhausting. Like, and I'm doing this right now because she got spayed, but it gets very tiring very quickly. Boise, leave it, baby girl. They like to chew on the wood chips. Another thing I would recommend is a cooling pad. So if you get an Australian Shepherd, they get very hot. So we have a fabric cage for them. And so essentially there's an air portion at the top. And what you want to do is you want to put a fan on the top of it. So go buy like a $20 plastic fan. Not like a clip-on fan, but a real fan. and a cooling pad, and that'll help. But even in your house, this is what I'm telling you, man. In your house, you probably don't wear. You're probably in your pajamas. These guys are in fur coats all day long, and it helps them sleep longer. So you can get a little fan, you get a little cooling pad, and and in your you're also going to want to have a blanket. So I give them a blanket to use as a pillow, and they move it around so that they like it and like. So you don't want to like the first night he was howling nonstop because he was so hot because we put all this blanket in there that we thought was going to be like padding and nice for fan and cooling fan, and he was just essentially going to have a heat stroke all night, which is why he was so loud. And then we took it out and he's fine. But what I want to say is get a blanket to put on the top. And what you're going to do is you're essentially going to block out about 3 sides of it. They can look out the front 3 sides so that they don't get too distracted. It helps them feel more like they're protected, and it's more like their den. And then they get a little bit more comfortable. Have I heard of TopTal? Yeah, I think it's one of those like recruiter testing firms. Will contributing to open source help me when working on a team? Yeah, I think so. It's one way that. Okay. What are you doing, baby girl? Boys, do you say hi, baby girl? She eats shit off the ground all day. Computer science or software engineering degree doesn't really matter. I'd probably do software engineering because it'd probably be a little bit more relevant. How many hours a day did you study before you got your first dev job? About 4 hours on the weekdays and about 8 to 12 on the weekends, sometimes more. Any pro tips for salary negotiations? As a new hire, I have 11 years of DevOps experience and just accepted at 85. What do you mean as a new hire if you have 11 years of DevOps experience? And why are you making 85K instead of 150K as a DevOps with 11 years of DevOps experience? I would just negotiate what the market average is and apply to companies that are that pay that. How much does Gator weigh now? 70 pounds. Gator's 70 and she's about 35 right now. There's 3 algorithms in the repo you provide that have no video. Yeah, those are new ones that I were thinking about adding, I think. Thanks, Aduba. Do I ever work with or collaborate with machine learning engineers? No. I have worked with some database analysts before, which is somewhat close. I'm not quite there. Ugh. Sweetheart, you're a good girl, huh? You're a good girl. Who's a precious princess? Precious princess. Oh, yes, you are. Yes, you are. Good girl. April thinks I talk more lovey-dovey to the dog than her, and so she gets upset about it. Any other tips to land interviews? It really depends on what your resume looks like and your LinkedIn and how you're applying for jobs. The 3 algorithms were added a year ago? Sounds about right. Occasionally I do like some code signal stuff and I'll throw it on there again. What was he? But yeah, you're probably not applying properly. You're not applying enough. And your resume is probably not right. Your LinkedIn's probably not right. At Dev Mountain right now, showed a bunch of people. Oh, thanks, man. What's your opinion on future data science and machine learning? Do you think a few years from now, software engineer salaries and machine learning salaries will be around the same? Well, machine learning salaries are higher than software engineers by about 20, 30,000 due to the demand. So do I think that there's going to be a demand for machine learning in a couple of years? Yeah. And you can just base that off of what the demand is today. Swings in, if you were to look at like what the top 20 jobs are, about 15 of those are going to be data science related. So you're going to have machine learning, you're going to have AI, you're going to have all that sort of stuff that falls in there. And you're not going to have a swing like that in a 5-year period. Maybe a 10-year, but yeah, you're not going to go in a more solid direction. To get a job where there's a high demand, there's a high gap between what the market has, and there is a high pay. Those are really the three things I look for. I look for good paying jobs, like jobs that pay well. I look for jobs that there's a lot of, and I look for jobs where there's a lot of growth. Those are the three things that make a good job. And three things, by the way, that the Bureau of Labor of Statistics tracks, that you can the government tracks and see. That's how I chose computer science when I was in school, is that it was just number-wise was a great thing to go. No, I haven't been playing with machine learning. I'm not really too interested in that. You have a year and a half graduating from employment gap from graduating. After graduating college, probably a red flag for most employers. Any tips on how to explain this? Just be honest. If you were traveling, say that you were traveling. If you were working on a personal project, say you were working on a personal project. Try and put something in that gap. That's one strategy I've heard people do, is they have a half gap. They just put what they did for that, put gap year, and a short description as to what you accomplished and how it made you a better person. So that they weren't like, oh, you were in prison, or oh, you were out there just smoking dope and playing Call of Duty. But just be ready and have a good answer for that question, because it will come up. Sorry to hear that, Jesse. I wish you the best, man. Anxiety and depressions are rough. It's something I think a lot of us at one point in our lives suffer with, myself included. So I feel for you. How would you structure a cover letter? I'd show you mine, but the gist of it is I do about 1 to 2 sentences, then I do about 7 bullet points with links to things that I want them to know about me. And I do, in those 1 to 2 sentences, I say what skills I have that I am at a professional level. They're bolded, and the links are bolded, and then I end it with 1 to 2 sentences. Very short and sweet. That's about it. And it's pretty generic. The only thing that really changes is if there's this particular skill. So I pretty much do full stack JavaScript exclusively. And I've done that my entire career. So there's not really any reason for me to change my cover letter. I don't. The only thing that would change is PHP, and I don't want to do PHP. So what I would say is that make it generic, and the only real thing that you can change is your what do you call it? Is your who you're sending it to. All right, I gotta get more tea. I have a cool side project idea, so do I just buy a domain and monetize the application, or is there more to it? I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, gotta build it. Be passionate about it, build it, and move forward with it. Any jobs I think will have less positions available? Yes. I think that there'll be, this is sort of an unpopular opinion, but I think that there will be a transformation of Agile. I don't think Agile is working for a lot of businesses. And so what I think will happen is that there will be less reliance on business analysts and less reliance on Scrum Masters. One of those two. So those positions, I think, may be one of the ones that change down the road to be less prominent. That's what I think. I think they're going to. I think a lot of businesses struggle with them, and maybe even QA, where they're just going to have devs do automated testing as part of their roles. But those first two are definitely something I think could have a change in the future to sort of eliminate the middleman and have devs writing their own tickets and gathering their own requirements. But do I have anything to back that up? No, just personal experience and anecdotal evidence and things like that. So. But I do think that could be something that changes, and the approach of Agile as a process changed quite deliberately because of it. Do you have any good for it? I have everything you need to know. Does the industry care if you smoke the ganja? I would say more or less that you probably just don't even want to address the topic. I've had roles that have drug tested me before, though. So. Dreaded death. Would you invest more time into a website you've already made that can gain real traffic in a niche market, or invest in a job in web dev security? I don't know, man. I'd probably just do whatever I want. What do you want to do? Do you want to work on a side project and be successful with it and take an entrepreneurial route? That's respectable if you can do it. In boot camp right now, I plan on buying both your Udemy courses to make sure you handle the interviews. That's great, man. I just had a buddy of mine who, a fellow YouTuber who is interviewing and took my course and said that it helped him land one of his roles. So does very well. If you're interested in my latest course, the 100 front-end technical interview question challenge, which goes over 100 of the most common front-end interview questions, there's a link in the description. You can get it for $10. Have I ever used Upwork for freelance? No. I've a couple times I've thought about it. I've applied. I've had a couple calls and interest, but I think my rate is too high for Upwork. Boise. No. No scratchy. No scratchy. No scratchy scratch. All right, any more questions, guys? I'm gonna call this one a little bit short just because I'm sick. My boy Jose, the inspiration for my latest video, the Money 101. How important is the tech stack I'm learning relative to the job? Say you do full stack, but I might use something else for the back end. Is this a big deal? It depends on the organization. It depends on the job. It depends on where you are in your career. But by and large, if you're a junior dev, you need to be working on the stack that's there. Do you think websites like Shopify will damage web dev jobs? Just the ones you don't want. How do I use LinkedIn? Well, you can put certificates on there. You can put courses. You can put projects. You can put classes. You can put education. What you're currently working on. LinkedIn's a very powerful tool, and it's better to get started now than later. All right, guys. I'm gonna leave you with that short little live stream.